Coming up today on Ktown Social Club, we have Japan threatens to tank the U.S. economy. Are the tides towards Israel changing in the U.S.? And Johnny Somali is now facing 31 years in South Korean prison. All that coming right up.
From Koreatown, Los Angeles, thank you for tuning in to Ktown Social Club for the issues you really care about. With David Yoon, Hajin Cho, and your host, Ed Choi. And with that, let's start the show.
Welcome back, everyone. Today we are joined by our panelists. We have Rocco, we have Hajin Cho, and we have David Yoon. I'm Ed Choi, and how are your guys' weeks?
So good. I was just telling Ed I saw Cowboy Carter the last night of Beyonce's show last Friday, and it was amazing. Just like...
She went by herself, by the way.
I went by myself, met fellow Hive members, obviously. Leave it up to Beyonce to have the coolest fans ever.
What is Hive?
That's just like her fan base.
The Beehive.
The Beehive,
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
You know, every artist has their little
Why do I know
thing.
that?
Buzz, the Beehive. But I was just telling him, I met this girl, she was right next to me, and she was from Japan. And she was like a super fan. She barely spoke English, but it was her 7th time seeing Beyonce.
Holy crap.
And like every time she's flown to the States, it was basically just for
Yeah.
like a Beyonce
flew
show.
to the America,
Yeah.
America,
Yeah.
multiple times just to see Beyonce.
Yep.
By
and
herself.
then like the next day she was leaving. She was like, "Yep, I
What?
literally flew in for like 2 days," and I was like, "Okay."
I was like,
Sounds like a lot
I've
of money.
never been to a
That's
concert by
insane.
myself ever.
Yeah.
That was my first time. It's fun. It's liberating.
Yeah.
You like kind of like, you know, because we were like taking pictures, helping each other take pictures and stuff, and that's how you kind of like start conversation. Or like someone just like talks to you and they're like, "I like your fit," and then you just like start talking.
Yeah,
so
yeah,
it was
yeah. Okay.
fun.
Nice,
Yeah.
nice.
I assume there was also a little bit of like, oh, you're a woman and you're alone, and I'm a woman and I'm alone. Like,
And that
we
too,
should
for
look out
sure.
for each other.
Oh,
Yeah,
for
yeah, yeah.
sure. I feel like girls
Yeah.
have that unspoken like understanding always.
The good ones, anyway.
But there were so many different types of fans. It was cool to see like so many kids with their families, so many. I didn't see celebrities, but I think they went the last night. Probably had like special seats or whatever.
The only coverage
Yeah.
I've seen about it on social media is everyone obsessing about
Blue?
dancing. Yeah.
The successor to her mother, like
Very
truly the
professional.
only one that could take her mother's throne. Like
Who is Blue?
Her daughter.
her and Jay-Z's
Firstborn.
firstborn.
Yeah.
She's like 11 or 13 now.
She looks
which is
almost
insane.
just like Beyonce.
No, they look identical, like
Yeah.
when Beyonce was a kid, which is so cute. She's gonna blossom into such a beautiful woman. But like she's super tall, like supermodel tall, and she's like very involved in this tour because the last tour, Blue got her first chance like dancing with her mom and stuff and the crew and the Renaissance tour, and then she got some flack for it because she was only 11, obviously, and she was like kind of unconfident or whatnot when she first started. And so she hella trained and rehearsed. Like this tour, she's like coming for everyone's fucking wigs. Like I swear to God, she's like she dances
She looks
as
very
good
professional.
as the pro dancers, which
she
is
did.
insane.
And you could even tell that she
Like her
rehearsed
power,
a lot.
her everything is so on point, and like it's so cute. At one point, Beyonce's like staring down at her and smiling. I'm just like, oh my God, I'm like witnessing history being made or something. I'm a big Beyonce stan, obviously. If you
see
couldn't
that.
tell.
You see that?
Anyway, how was everyone
yours?
else's weekend?
Good. Just over the weekend we did Mother's Day.
Oh yes,
Oh, you
happy
guys know
Mother's
You
Day.
guys know that duck place in K-Town?
Oh, which
It's
place?
by Olympic.
Oh my God, I want to go there so bad. The one that has a 4-hour duck that's like $100 or $120.
So there's that place. That's by, like, that's next to the PC방, 팔팔.
Yes, I think so.
I've seen
So
that place.
I went there.
Okay.
But there's another place that's been around for like 20, 30 years.
Oh.
Because the 할머니 that runs it, she said she's been there for like,
Was she
she's been here since she was like
OG?
young. So she speaks fluent English.
Oh, wow.
It's kind of weird. You don't see a lot of 할머니es.
맞아, 맞아. That's cool.
But yeah, we went there because my mom loves duck. And we went to CGV, caught a movie.
Wait, like
Which movie?
duck
Yeah, which kind of-
barbecue?
Yeah,
Is it
duck
like
barbecue.
Korean barbecue?
Yeah, yeah.
Yummy,
It's like Korean
yummy.
barbecue, it's just duck. It's very good.
Oh, I haven't had duck in that way.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw.
It's expensive, but it's...
Yeah, I was
It
about to
sounds
ask. It
yummy.
sounds expensive.
It
Duck
sounds
is so
expensive.
expensive.
Yeah.
Yeah, duck is expensive.
Worth it, but god dang it. I wish it was like something I could eat daily.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
Is it healthy? Is duck healthy?
I mean, they advertise it as like duck fat is supposed to be like good for you. It's not like beef fat. Like they even have
Don't
like,
eat it in excess.
Is it high
obviously.
protein?
Yeah.
Duck
I
is
have
high
no
protein.
idea.
Okay,
It
okay.
is. It is.
Yeah, I'm pretty
Okay,
sure.
that's
it is.
cool.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. How was your Mother's Day?
I love duck.
Yeah, happy Mother's Day to y'all's moms.
I don't. My mom's in Korea, so I don't.
she's in Korea?
Yeah, I
Oh,
don't
okay.
A
Mother's
little
Day.
cacao chat.
Yeah, I just like made a video for her.
Oh,
Okay.
that's nice.
Posted it,
Yeah.
and then sent it to her, and that was
Nice,
basically
nice.
it. But yeah, it was pretty quiet. I didn't do anything. I just worked.
Yeah, if she's over there, yeah.
Yeah.
Love you, moms. 사랑합니다.
Well, getting into the world of news in the last week,
Oh boy.
I don't think a lot of people. I haven't seen anyone really talking about this at all. But is this not showing right now? Of course it's not. Let me just fix that. Here we go. But Japan has come forward and stated that they're going to. So Japan is U.S.'s largest creditor.
Oh.
So you know how the U.S. has this $36 trillion debt?
Yeah.
Japan owns 1.1 trillion of that in U.S. Treasury. So they're our largest creditor.
Oh wow.
The second largest creditor is actually China, which is hilarious. They own 784 billion of U.S. Treasuries as of February, which is funny that we're being so aggressive because they could pull what Japan did. So Japan literally said, if U.S. does not negotiate and does not take down the tariffs, they're going to sell the $1.1 trillion, which would then make U.S.'s economy crumble.
Oh, God.
Because if Japan sells that amount of U.S. debt, it will most likely spark a massive treasury sell-off, making the rest of the other worlds also sell off America's debt.
Oh shit.
Because it means that it's not going to, because America's
There's no value.
currency is,
Right.
is
It's not
crumbling.
worth anything.
Oh lord.
That would mean that like we would be in worse than the Great Depression, and that would be horrible. But yeah, so Japan is threatening to ruin American economy.
That's so interesting that Japan is doing that. Because
Yeah, that's so aggressive.
South Korea hasn't said anything. I feel like I would have heard if South Korea has
Yeah.
made similar threats.
Yeah, not
There's no
yet,
way.
not yet at least. But there is something else to that that we're going to get into in a little bit. But yeah, Japan
Why are they threatening that as of recently?
because of the
Like, what-
tariffs.
Oh, just because is it just like a statement they've made?
Yeah. So.
That's pretty
It
aggressive.
was
because they're
Japanese
not like
Finance
that.
Minister Katsunobu Kato, who's basically said that the cards are on the table for the
Damn.
U.S. Treasuries if the tariff negotiations don't, take a positive turn.
Oh man.
But
what
it's just
does
funny.
the world come to when Japan can say
Yeah,
shit
that's what
like
I was
that?
going to
Right,
say. Like,
seriously.
Japan is the one who's like, so
Being
it's
so
kind of
aggro.
hilarious.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which is actually on point for Japan, right? They've just been masquerading as this like cutesy
Right.
company. But let's not forget, they were hell-bent on taking over the world
Yeah.
Oh
less
yeah.
than half a decade ago.
They still committed those war crimes, baby.
Yeah. So the real Japan's really just coming right back out. Staying on that side of the world, actually, this video has been making its rounds, so you guys probably have seen it. But there is this entitled Israeli tourist who in Thailand went off on. So basically, I think they were like at a restaurant or something where they had to take off their shoes, but they refused to take off their shoes.
Oh my
And I
God.
think this is where this video picks up.
You are not welcome there. I'm sorry, but your money, but my money, okay? Build your country. Oh, wow. Okay.
Disgusting.
It's the hands for me. This like brushing off, like fuck out of here hands,
Ew.
I don't understand like the mentality of going to someone else's house or just like, establishment
That
and
colonizer mentality.
just doing that,
Yeah.
I mean,
It's the
going to someone
audacity.
else's country is
Yeah.
essentially likened to going to someone's house.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I just find it funny because I know a person from a country who's funded by American tax dollars isn't traveling to another country saying that they fund
Right.
their money. Like, that's crazy to me.
Yeah.
Have some self-awareness. But apparently that's not the first time that's been happening. There have been some weirdness with like Israel happening in Thailand, like this video.
Oh
Are Israeli tourists pushing local limits in Thailand? Headlines in Thai media about Israeli tourists have been far from flattering following recent incidents. In February, some Israeli tourists were deported and had their visas revoked after storming a hospital ER and damaging property when a fellow Israeli was hurt in a motorcycle crash. After refusing to leave, staff called the police. In response, some local businesses put up a "No Israel Here" sign. And that's not all. Israeli media reported that poor behavior from, quote, war-weary Israelis could strain tensions with the country. In one example, a cafe owner said, quote, Israeli tourists consumed food worth hundreds of baht and then refused to pay. Driven by the unusual high numbers of Israelis in Thailand of over 103,000 in just the first 3 months of 2025.
Wow.
I love Israel.
Ew.
I love
Why are they so uncivilized?
Alongside reports of several businesses illegally run by Israeli citizens and local tensions, Thai social media and local press are now saying that locals fear the city turning into occupied land.
Oh God.
Yeah, like I didn't know any of that was happening.
I don't know
They're straight
either.
up gangpes.
Yeah. That's crazy.
Israeli people, can you guys like check your own people? Like, what is this?
Yeah. I mean,
Can we
obviously
behave
not
civilized?
all Israeli people, but there clearly is some movement of some
Yeah.
entitlement in other countries.
Please behave when you travel.
You should rein your own people in.
Oh my god. Do you guys know shoot. It's that organization made by former IDF. And they're like very anti-Zionist now.
Oh, interesting.
Breaking the silence.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, I
They-
feel like I've seen this.
Yeah,
Like before.
Maybe on Instagram you've seen it or something.
Yeah,
But they recently
breaking
posted a
the
video about like
silence.
Israelis in Tel Aviv doing a protest, like holding like photos of like children killed in Gaza. Yeah, breaking the silence. Yeah, fun story. So one of like the co-founders of Breaking the Silence was one of my professors at UCLA. And he was like, that was his first term teaching. And so like he was an adjunct. I don't know if you guys know anything about like professorship, but you gotta be adjunct. And if you're lucky, they'll
You
keep
get
you for another
tenureship.
semester. But
Yeah.
most likely they're just gonna boot you off the first quarter. But
Lame.
the Middle East, I think it was Jewish studies. I think it was a Jewish department, but they actually forced him to record his own lectures, like every single lecture, because there was a camera staring at him every single day. Yeah, and he got fired like immediately because he was like, this guy wasn't even like anti-Zionist to be honest,
Yeah.
but he was like calling like the Israeli like statehood settler colonialist, and very moderate things, but even that was enough for the department to say, yeah, we don't like
That's
this guy, kick him
scary.
off.
Wow, that's crazy.
But yeah, he's one of the co-founders of Breaking the
Well,
Silence.
go him.
That's actually funny you bring that up because the next topic that I have is this is the
I
first
saw
think
that.
in U.S. media that I've seen in recent times where they have been
Finally.
anti-Israel.
Yeah.
And I think, let's be honest, I think it's stemming from the negative meeting that Trump had with Netanyahu.
Yeah.
Well, negative for Netanyahu.
Yeah.
Great for the rest of the world. But yeah, that meeting did not go well. Trump refused to walk back the 17% tariffs on Israel, stating that he stated that Israel gets $4 billion a year in aid from America. And he said, quote, that's a lot. Congratulations, by the way. That's pretty good. But then Trump then also disclosed that the U.S. is talking directly with Iran, which,
Right.
if you don't know, Israel has been having some issues or having conflict with Iran might be a better way to say it. But Trump is also upset that Netanyahu plans for a renewed military campaign in Gaza, which would counter his grand vision for the Gaza Riviera Trump plan that he had. Remember that ridiculous video we watched with the
Yeah.
golden statues and stuff?
Yeah.
But apparently Trump's a little mad that Netanyahu wants to have renewed military in Gaza because I think from a selfish point of
Resources?
view, he was like, well, what about my plans?
Yeah.
Like, what do you
Of
mean you
course.
want to take over? We were going to
Always.
take over.
Yeah, always.
Yeah.
But in addition with that, in regards to Iran, so U.S. keeps cutting Israel out of deals. Like, for instance, the big one is like with Saudi Arabia.
And Yemen.
Yep. And like, for instance, the civil nuclear deal with Saudi Arabia that would bypass the initial proposition of Israeli, because like Israel was originally in talks with Saudi Arabia to do this. But then the U.S. stepped in to normalize an exchange for the Saudi-U.S. Defense Pact, which would ruin Israel because this was their golden chance to try to get in good with their neighboring countries. So
Psych.
Yeah, I mean, the meeting, they were very civil, but it's very clear that Trump is starting to sour on Israel a little bit, which has actually been very surprising for me. So I think that turned the tides for the media to be like, well, all right, well, this is what we really think.
He turns on everyone if he can't extract
Yep.
anything from you. He's like, I'm over it.
And did you guys see Marjorie Green? What was her name? Marjorie
Taylor Greene.
Yeah.
What did
she
she
was doing
do?
a video saying like, like I don't think like I don't want to be fighting Israel's wars. Like I don't know why. Like I'm one of those
Girl.
Americans that whatever. When like months ago she was like, whatever.
What a
up
funny
their
term.
ass.
I wonder if, because I mean their voting base is like evangelical Christians.
Right.
Yep.
I don't know if that base has,
Any strong
shifted.
opinions?
I don't know about that, but
I don't
mean,
know that they ever really had strong opinions about this anyway, right? They were just kind of going with whatever
Following,
Trump was
yeah.
saying. That's how I felt. No?
Well, I know that they have the whole thing about hurrying up the end of the world by destroying Al-Aqsa Mosque and
Wow.
putting up the third temple there. So I know. I mean, that's
Scary.
a biblical that's a biblical
wow.
basis of which keep in mind only American and South Korean evangelicals believe in.
But that
Which
doesn't
is
make any
so
sense.
insane.
That makes you the evil one. Do
Yeah.
we not
Yeah.
understand this?
They use
Yeah.
that as justification to destroy anything
Yeah.
that goes
Yeah.
against their beliefs.
So for Israel, that's like at least is my opinion. For Israel, that's what they feed like dumb
Yeah.
Christians in the U.S.
Yeah.
and obviously like for dumb American
Like
and South Korean Christians.
exceptionalism and stuff.
Yeah.
And like
They-
you're the best,
Yeah.
you're the
We're
chosen one. Yeah.
and we'll
that's
bring
very
you along.
American.
Right, yeah. Bullshit.
So I think the only people who
Evangelical.
actually believe it are not even Israelis. I think it's Christians in the U.S. and
Oh,
South
for
Korea, which
sure.
is so
They're
embarrassing.
lost in the sauce.
Yeah.
Like deep.
Yeah. So when I saw that,
This is why I don't
with
trust
that article,
Christianity. This is why I don't trust Christianity, just like the institution of it. But that's a
Yeah.
whole nother conversation.
yeah.
That's a
yeah.
long conversation.
Yeah.
I wonder though, like, but because their voting base, like you said, like I don't know how much. Like if Trump says, "Oh, we don't believe in that anymore," are the evangelical Christians in the U.S. going to be like, "Okay, we don't believe in that anymore"? I don't know. I never talked to one of them, like in real
It
life.
kind of seems like that's how it's
You
been
know?
going. I don't want to put words in your mouth. But yeah.
Yeah. But at the same time, though, I feel like Trump, he does one thing yesterday and he does another tomorrow.
Yeah, I have a funny thing about that too.
I don't have my hopes up. That's my point.
But
Right.
with the tides changing on Israel, I wonder if this is going to change. If we put up this on the screen, this is a map of the U.S. and if the state is purple, that means there is a law that makes it illegal for you to receive public contract if you boycott Israel. Public contract being like a governmental contract, whether it's like defense or whatever it is. Like if you've ever been known to boycott or say anything negative about Israel, there's actually laws in these states, California included, which blew my mind, that makes it illegal for you to receive a public contract.
That's
So like, does that mean stuff like this would eventually change? Like, when did these laws even get passed?
Right?
I feel like the biggest selling point that can work across the board is like, oh, I thought it's America first. Like, why are we?
Right.
I feel like that's the talking point that's been working.
For sure.
And if like we're starting to see that like our interests and Israel interests are not aligning as much, like then where do laws like these, fit in?
Well, people also have to get on the same page about what America first means.
That's
We're
fair.
so divided on that. And I
Yeah.
feel like, whatever
Which
anti-Israel
American? Yeah.
sentiment, I could see the tides turning for sure.
Yeah.
But it just has to be like,
Hopefully it's not slow.
hopefully it's not slow, but I mean, too many lives have already been, they were the cost for all of this, and it's still ongoing. But I feel like, I just feel like mainstream media and whatnot has to cover this more unbiased Israel take, and that's when the opinions will really change.
You know that bill? Speaking of this, you know that bill that was I think it was I don't think it passed in House, but it was put up in House you can't become a citizen. Wait, what was it? Do you go to jail if you criticize Israel? I don't know. It was something like that.
What? That
You
is
remember? It
wild.
was- and even the Republicans themselves opposed it, so I think it failed.
That is wild.
It was very recent, though.
That's some fascist shit. I should have the right to criticize
Oh, wow.
anyone.
It passed? It passed?
Oh, this is from last year.
Okay. No, it happened very recently.
7 days ago. House axes vote on Israel boycott bill.
I figured. Because I remember even the right-wingers were like, this
That's
is
too
too much.
Yeah, it says, Matt Gaetz
Lol.
from Florida, by the way, the fucking armpit of America, was
did he
like,
say?
if this bill becomes law, how many Israeli products do I need in my home to avoid fines or prison? If I leave an Israeli-made product outside my home, is it the 2025 version of lamb's blood that keeps my family safe? I can't tell if he was trying to be funny or if that's just his stupidity, but either way, that was funny.
I mean, they say some
That is
funny ass
funny.
shit.
That is
Honestly.
funny.
It is Florida, But speaking of actual anti-Semites, there's this video that's been going around on Instagram and social media. So if you guys remember a couple weeks ago, I covered that Kanye was creating havoc in Koreatown.
He was?
Yeah, so he has this warehouse in Koreatown.
Leave us alone.
And people were complaining that even it was being loud in the middle of the night. He has people, going there, but they even had this not article. They had like a wanted ad put out, and it basically said they're looking for models. They have to be comfortable with shaving their head and wearing swastika gear.
Okay. Well.
Yeah, and then someone even drew a swastika on the building, and there was all of that. But then after that came out, these videos started coming out where people are able to see into what they were doing in the middle of the night. Now, mind you, this is in Koreatown, so...
Imagine you're trying to sleep and you hear that shit.
Bruh.
What is he?
Like-
What?
That doesn't not sound terrifyingly hateful.
Yeah.
He's inciting hate.
You think he's just gone full on crazy?
It's like, I can't keep defending this guy. Like, I've just been a fan of his for a long time, like a lot of people that like hip hop, I guess, and stuff. But it's just like, he's just gone so off kilter, like the
Since
last 10
like
years.
808 and Heartbreaks,
I'm just like pissed.
stopped
I'm like annoyed. I'm like,
supporting
you're
him.
like such a waste of like this artistic genius because of your own like, I don't know. I think the celebrity of it all, like really, I don't think any of them are normal, honestly. I don't think they live in like delusions of grandeur and like,
For me,
it's just gross.
I think there's going to be a documentary that comes out in the next 15 years.
Oh, I
but
bet.
the thing that bothers me the most is the people around Kanye who allow him
Oh,
to
yeah.
do this and don't check him and don't get him help, the help that he
That's
obviously
fucked.
needs. They're using him because he still garners paychecks in their pocket.
yeah, they're grifters.
Yeah, they are grifters. And that's the part that bothers me.
That
Like,
makes me sad for him, actually.
That's what I'm
too.
saying.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
you don't have anyone that actually cares.
All
about
the
you.
anti-Semitism
Holy
stuff,
shit.
yes, I am angry at Kanye.
Right.
He's an adult. He should be held,
That's terrible. Yeah.
accountable for that. But he's also a victim, I think, because people are taking advantage of him, taking advantage of his mental health crisis.
Yep. And people say, I mean, like people that just like shit I've seen online, like people say his whole like demise mentally started after his mom died because it was like a freak accident,
I think
wasn't
it was
it?
before.
Really?
I think
oh
that.
shit.
I think by that point he had already started to. I do agree that his
they were
mother
close
dying.
and stuff.
Yeah, I think it did push him over an edge, but I think he was starting to go down that path already.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Just everything.
I'm telling you,
He's
since
such
like
a- he's a
808 and
bizarro.
Heartbreaks, I was like,
Yeah.
something about Kanye feels off. I was like, I
Yeah.
can't support this anymore.
Why is he doing it in Ktown though?
Bro, yeah, leave our neighborhood alone.
I don't
It's
know.
already so chaotic here, please.
I
Is he
don't
still
know.
in LA? Is Kanye in LA?
Who knows?
Apparently, unfortunately, yeah. So what? I mean, what can you do?
You guys,
know?
let's not have like Nazi white supremacist skinhead behavior. Let's not promote that here.
Yeah. And the next topic is 2 weeks old. I covered this last week, but it got cut because of, our guest. But I feel like it's really important that we talk about this. So remember Kilmar Abrego Garcia, the guy who got
Oh yes.
sent to El Salvador from Maryland,
Yes.
even though
Yes.
they were like, oh, he has his MS-13
yeah,
tattoos. And I was even like, I'm pretty sure Trump thinks that the MS-13 that was put on top
Is real.
to represent was like, he thinks it's an actual tattoo.
Yeah.
So video came out and I was fucking right. So this guy, and you'll watch this video in a second, this guy interviews Trump and he tries
I saw this.
so hard to get Trump to not look so dumb.
Yeah.
But Trump just keeps being like, nope, I'm going to harp on this. And the
Yeah.
guy's like, bro, I'm trying to do you a solid, even though I don't agree with you. And Trump just won't let it go. So just enjoy this next minute and a half.
Knuckles, he had MS-13.
There's a dispute
But
on that.
wait a minute. He had MS-13 on his knuckles.
You look so dumb right now.
Oh my God. He had some tattoos that are interpreted that way. But let's move on.
Wait a minute. Hey, Terry.
Wait a minute.
Terry.
He did not have the letter MS-13.
It says MS-13.
That was Photoshop. So let me
That
go.
was Photoshop. Terry, you can't do that. Hey, they're giving you the big break of a lifetime. You know, you're doing the interview. I picked you because, frankly, I never heard of you. That's okay. But I picked you, Terry. But you're not being very nice. He had MS-13 tattooed.
We'll agree to disagree. I want to move on to something else.
Terry. Do you want me to show you the picture?
Saw the picture.
And you think it was Photoshop? Well,
Here we go.
Don't Photoshop it. Don't look at his hand. He had MS-13.
He did have tattoos that can be interpreted that way. I'm not an expert on them. I want to turn to Ukraine,
No,
sir.
Terry,
I want to get to Ukraine.
No.
This is a
He
train
had
wreck.
MS as clear as you can be,
my
not
God.
interpreted. This is why people no longer believe the news because
When
it's
he was
fake
photographed
news.
in El Salvador, they aren't there.
They aren't there.
But let's just go. They aren't there when he's in El Salvador.
They
Take a
weren't
look
there,
at the
but they're
photograph.
there now, right?
No,
But they're there
in
now.
your picture.
Terry,
Ukraine, sir.
he's got MS-13 on his
Just
knuckles.
won't let it go.
Okay?
We'll take a look.
It's you just
We'll take
such
a
a
look.
disservice.
We'll take a look
my
at
Why
that.
don't you
God.
just say, yes, he does, and, go on to something
It's
else.
contested.
Look, and on his
That's a
knuckles.
narcissist. That's how they argue.
It's so crazy,
Like,
and then
just
to be so
unrelenting.
condescending
Yeah,
about
and
it, it's
then,
like
yeah.
you're so wrong.
It's because his ego's so hurt in that moment that he has to like attack him and his character.
I do love this one comment
it's
where
crazy.
someone wrote, which is funny because like no one's calling, like a lot of people on Trump's side called out that Biden was showing signs of dementia.
Right.
And it's like this person's like early dementia. This is exactly what my conversation with my mom were like when dementia
Oh
started.
my God, I could see it. He
But-
probably does have dementia. He's old as
Maybe
fuck.
a little bit. I agree. I think it's mostly just like
Narcissism.
narcissism.
I think it's his personality.
Yeah,
Yeah.
his personality.
Small man syndrome.
That's how his dad was apparently.
Yeah.
Their family is probably so scary and weird.
Yeah.
Just weirdo
His
shit.
dad had ties to a Third Reich
What?
church. To a Third Reich church.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
I would not put that.
Have you
past
guys
that
been
family.
to that one hiking trail?
Which one?
Something's something's ranch, and it's in LA.
Where?
It's-
What neighborhood?
Is that the one that goes to the old zoo?
Oh, Victory Trail. Wait, which like
No.
is in the valley? Where is this? Like Highland Park? Like,
I don't remember.
What's on the trail,
But it's like, well, now it's like a photo area.
Oh, yes,
wait.
of that Nazi guy's house.
Nazi guys.
Yes,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
have seen
You-
that in
you've
an
been
article.
there?
No, I've seen it in an article.
Okay, okay.
I want to
this doesn't
hike
hike.
this.
Yeah, it's a photo. It's like a photo shoot area now.
Oh, what the hell?
Yeah, but it's a guy who like thought Hitler would win, and he prepared his house for Hitler to eventually
Yeah,
come.
yeah.
He made like a bunker in
It's
the
like
middle
like
of
a
nowhere.
land. Wait, I did this in college years ago with college friends.
Oh, you went.
I'm pretty sure I know what this is, and there was a bunker and stuff.
Yeah, something ranch.
Is it like in Malibu? I feel like it's in like
yeah,
Malibu.
yeah, I think it's
like
up in that area.
It's in
that
LA,
area. Yeah. I
Yeah.
did this literally like over 10 years ago, but I remember it.
That's
and it
crazy.
is a photo area, and there are a
Yeah.
lot of people hiking it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys should do it. It's a cool hike.
I already did it.
Oh, you already
Yeah, I
did
did
it?
like
Yeah,
twice.
yeah.
You did do
Yeah.
it.
I was asking you if
It's like a decent hike.
It
yeah.
just made me think of it.
I
But yeah,
should
very
hike,
cool to
not
see.
be a fat
Oh,
ass.
dude, yeah, hike. That's the best part about living here.
I don't know what the
the
best
hikes.
part. I don't know what the
Right?
best
The
part.
outdoorsy.
Food first.
Oh, the
People
food.
second.
The food for
Hikes
sure.
are top 10 maybe.
Beach.
But have you been hiking like elsewhere though?
No one in LA goes to the
Because
beach.
I love
LA
the
hiking
beach. I'm
is
a
like,
water girl.
in my opinion at least, it's not.
I've
What?
been hitting up this
Like
hike
LA hikes?
every week. I used to live
You don't
around
think they're
here.
that great?
Compared to everywhere else, no.
Oh, you mean like difficulty wise?
No, just like the nature, like what you see. It's just brown bushes. And
Yeah, but then
dirt.
there's like a lot of aerial views of landscapes.
Yeah, when
right?
you can see
There
the city,
is,
it's
but,
pretty
like, I
dope.
feel like anywhere else.
Yeah, no,
'cause
I
I love
agree.
hiking, so I everywhere I go, I try to go hiking, and I gotta say, LA's not up there.
I mean, it's not.
Okay,
it's not Hawaii.
I'm sending you a hike
You know,
right now.
it's not.
It's like a chill hike. It's called
What's it
Ernst
called?
E. Debs Regional Park. It's in Highland Park.
Oh, that's right
I
by my
texted
house.
it to you guys. Oh, you live in Highland Park? Okay, nice. I used
Not
to live
in,
around there.
but around.
Okay, yeah. Then you should definitely do the hike. If it's close to you, you have no excuse. It's super nice.
have
There's
flat
family.
feet?
Okay, you
you actually?
get some
Yeah.
hiking
Like
shoes.
really flat feet. Like
That's
not
like an
even
Asian thing. We
not
all have
even
flat
an
feet.
inkling of an arch.
Are you serious?
Yeah, that's why
It's
when
like
my mom was
genetic.
like, "Hey, you might get drafted to the Korean Army," and I was like, "I don't live there," and I was like, "You know
Oh,
what?
hell yeah.
I have flat feet." It was like my cousin got out of it
Fuck
because
yes.
of flat feet. So
You know Park Ji-sung?
yeah,
He has flat feet.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You need to get Birkenstocks. It helps, bro. Everyone.
Just
Take care of your feet. I actually am the foot person in my friend group. Not in a fetishy way. Sorry. I meant in like a foot health way. Ask any of my friends. I'm like, take care of your
foot health?
Like, work on your feet strength and like growing your arches and like wear good shoes for you. Nikes are kind of ass, even though I like them too. Get Birkenstocks. This is not an ad.
I do get Dr. Scholl inserts.
Yeah. No, like you need to be barefoot. That's what helps flat-footers. You need to be barefoot and like walk outside and like
Earthing.
that's what strengthens your feet. Yeah, be a hippie.
Yeah. South Koreans are obsessed with that these days. They call it earthing.
Oh, hell yeah. Oh, finally, they're in their wellness era.
Hell no.
Pray for Ed's feet, y'all.
I don't. So, have you guys heard about this guy named Mahendra Patel?
Mahendra Patel.
Yeah,
might
he's
need
this
to see the name.
56-year-old man. He's this South Asian man, and in Ackworth, Georgia, at a Walmart.
Okay.
He was walking. He was doing. He was shopping there, like normal people go to Walmart for. And there was this white woman who was in one of those like wheelchair carts, those electric wheelchair carts.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
She didn't need it. She wasn't disabled, but she had two like young toddler children with her, and I think they wanted to ride in it, so she took it. That's its a whole different thing.
Okay.
And at some point, I'm going to show you guys the video, but
Oh, I'm nervous.
her one toddler almost falls. He catches her, catches the child, gives it back to the mom. Everything is fine. He was actually looking for something. I forget what it was. She tells him where it is. And then as he's leaving, he just is like, oh, I found it. And they have a friendly little banter. And then he leaves. Well, after he leaves, she decides that she's going to go to the Walmart supervisors and tell them this brown man tried to kidnap her child.
Oh my God.
Yep. And even though there is surveillance video that proves that he didn't do any of these things, he still spent a month in jail.
What?
Yeah, he still spent a month in jail. And this man is a goddamn saint, because he, even after, when he's getting interviewed, he's like, I don't wish her anything negative. He's like, karma will do its thing. And it's like, that's just crazy. But like, watch his video. It's
I would
literally
have sued the hell out of
dude,
everyone.
I would have
would've been
sued like
so mad.
Walmart, the Justice, whatever,
Yeah.
everything.
Has he been in jail for over a month now
That's
when there is literally
awful.
video evidence of the entire thing? Let me show you what I'm talking about. This is 56-year-old Mahendra Patel, and on March 18th, he walked into a Walmart to find Tylenol for his 86-year-old mother. He walks around for a bit, can't find it, and eventually asks for help from 26-year-old Caroline Miller. Caroline was in a motorized shopping cart, not because she had a disability and needed it, but because she wanted to take her kids on a joyride. As you can see, everything seems fine. They have a friendly conversation, and she even points him in the direction of the Tylenol, but this is the part where she claims that he tried to kidnap her children. He starts walking towards the Tylenol, and she starts driving the other way, and her son almost falls out of the scooter, so he picks him up and puts him safely back onto her lap like any good person would. He then walks away, and she's still trying to figure out how to drive this shopping cart and ends up bumping into something and is laughing and talking with another gentleman just moments later. And this was after she said she had a 10-second tug of war over her child until he finally let go. And the same thing happens here, where this time her daughter falls and this gentleman goes over to help her again like any good person would, but she didn't call the cops on him. And after he finally found the Tylenol, he goes up to her and shows her that he found it. She gives him a thumbs up and he walks away. But she felt so threatened that she told a Walmart employee, and later that night called the police, and 3 days later Patel was thrown into jail. He has now been in jail for over a month, and if they did even a small investigation or looked at the cameras, they would realize that he is innocent. Please sign this petition and raise awareness so that he gets justice, and Caroline Miller has to tell the truth that she lied about what happened.
That's
Why has he been in jail for over a month?
Like, why? Like, are you that bored with your life? Like, really?
Yeah, so
That's
he
insane.
was eventually released, and this is a video from when he was released.
Oh my gosh.
When a man falsely accused of child abduction was freed.
We'll be in recess for a brief period.
Mahendra Patel was released on bail after being falsely accused of attempting to abduct a toddler in Walmart. His accuser, Caroline Miller, claimed he tried to kidnap her son after asking for directions to Tylenol, but surveillance footage contradicted her story, showing them having a normal conversation.
Did someone try to take you from mommy?
Yeah. Over there. And as soon as I did that, that's when he just picked him up, got him off.
The video revealed no struggle and showed Patel merely trying to prevent the child from falling off Miller's motorized cart. Despite spending weeks in jail and facing serious charges, Patel's attorney argued he acted like a concerned parent. Supporters rallied for him as the judge set a $10,000 bond, noting significant media attention surrounding the case.
Me in chambers so that I can review it, and then I will come back in the courtroom and go over them and get the man's signature, and that'll take care of it.
That accent's all I need.
Yeah.
Literally, I was thinking the
Recess for a
same.
brief period.
What state is this?
Georgia.
Which explains why he was released on a
South
$10,000 bond, which is insane. That means
Yeah.
his bail was $100,000.
Really? That's what that means?
That means you pay 10% to get out.
Oh
Yeah.
my God. That's some bullshit.
$100,000. Like, this case should have been immediately been dropped.
So what is that? Just like racism? Like what is this? Like why?
She was just bored. I don't
like what the
fucking
fuck?
know.
Like
but like the
I don't even know how to opine on it because
I know.
it's so dumb. I'm like,
for her
why
to
did
then
you do that?
go to the media and give these interviews like, was he trying to steal you from mommy?
That's again like
Dude, that's so
narcissism.
fucking sociopathic. It's
yeah,
insane.
I'm sorry. People are attention whores. Like it's
But also,
crazy.
Did you not know that Walmart has every inch of their store covered in surveillance
there's,
video?
like,
There was
CCTV everywhere.
multiple angles of that interaction happening. Like, what? What?
They just think about their immediate gain. There's no like
Oh.
foresight or anything.
She wanted fame. She's gonna
Yeah.
get it.
Yeah, they
She's
just
gonna
want.
get it.
I love how that's how social media does its thing though. They just like put these bitches on blast, women and men, like people that are just like
Horrible
stains on
people.
society.
Yeah.
yeah,
They deserve it.
yeah, they definitely deserve to be.
Speaking
put
of
on blast.
horrible people, last
God.
week, LA firefighters union bosses were suspended after alleged mishandling of funds. And so between 2018 and 2024, 3 people, the union president, his name is Freddie Escobar, and 2 other union leaders spent $800,000 in credit cards without a single documentation, reasoning, or anything about what happened. So,
Like how?
yeah, right. Like for instance, the union president Freddie Escobar, just between 2018 and 2024, he alone spent $230,000, $465.67 on 1,372 different credit card transactions, none of which had a notation or receipt
sus.
or anything. So
Hookers
yeah. 100%.
or laundering. I don't even know how to say
Or
it.
even just
Fuck.
like buying unnecessary
Yeah,
stuff,
I
you
don't
know?
know,
Like
just
he
some
might have
weird
just been
shit
going to
that
like
they don't
Target.
want
Yeah.
traced. Or even Target. Yeah,
Yeah, you
fuck.
know, like buying Christmas presents, who knows?
Oh,
But
God.
the whole union has now been put on a temporary conservatorship
Oh God.
because of it.
Wow.
LA, get your shit together, bro.
But how does not one person notice for 6 years? 800 grand?
Because they're all in on it. Just kidding. This is
800
alleged.
grand is a
That's a
lot
lot.
of
That's
money.
a fuck ton of money.
A part of it has to be
Yeah.
OnlyFans.
It has to
It
be
has to be
some
OnlyFans.
like shit like that. Some of it.
Or in person
and they have,
OnlyFans?
they have wives
in-person
and they
OnlyFans.
want like they have wives and they just don't want their like money to be traced or seen.
Yeah, maybe they like hired, dancers and they're like,
Yeah.
so we can't give you dollar bills, but I bought this diamond bracelet. You know what I mean? I feel
my
like
God,
as a
yes.
dancer, you'd be like, that's
Yeah.
sus, but
Okay. Money's
yoink,
money, baby.
you know?
Damn.
That's crazy. On the
I
other
can't imagine.
yeah,
Just
Oh, I saw this.
yeah. Not the other side of the world.
I didn't see this.
In our country, Trump decided that he's going to offer undocumented migrants $1,000 to self-deport.
Gee.
Yeah.
No, who would take that?
Like what?
In a grand scheme of things,
What is $1,000 gonna do?
That's nothing.
It is nothing. And like, if you really think about it, you're like, wow, I wonder how much it must cost to deport someone if like they're offering $1,000,
Yeah.
right? Because like if it costs $500, it'd be stupid to offer them $1,000. Like
Yeah.
that's not how
Yeah.
profits work.
Right.
So you guys want to take a guess how much it costs to deport
Oh God. Okay.
one person?
Okay, wait. Okay.
To find, detain, and deport them. Let's include all of that. Just be very specific.
All the manpower, salary.
Like manpower,
Yeah.
like everything.
For one
involved.
person, what do you
Resources.
think?
That's got to be thousands, maybe even tens of thousands.
80,000?
80?
Is that too
I was
high?
gonna say
That's like really high.
I was gonna say
sorry.
like 10K.
Okay, like 20,000.
That's pretty close. It costs
close?
$17,121 to find, detain, and remove one person.
Oh my
That's really
god.
fucking
And
high,
that's
though.
not including the intensive government-to-government negotiations needed for a country to even agree to take back its
Oh, good Lord.
citizen.
Yeah.
So it's just
He's
so they make
straining
their
every
life.
industry, every country.
Yeah. So I mean, like, it's not just Trump, right? Because like Biden deported a whole bunch of people.
True.
Obama deported a
yeah.
shit ton of people. So we're talking like hundreds of millions of dollars that did it have to be spent? You know what I mean? Like, could that money?
if they made the avenue of obtaining citizenship way more accessible and easier, and that information accessible, maybe they wouldn't have to do all this fuck ass shit and spend like 20K to like deport folks.
Yeah.
Because all the comments always from Karens are like, well, you were. I saw this one video of this one guy getting deported. So him and his white wife, he was a chef at like a Michelin star restaurant here.
Yeah, I saw that.
Oh, that Hispanic guy, and
Yeah,
they
yeah.
just decided to like just immigrate back to Mexico or something.
It was, like,
Even though his whole life was
somewhere in Latin America, and the white American wife even moved with him.
Yeah. They were
Yeah.
like planning a movie and they were doing interviews. And then all the comments were like, well, if you were active here for like 30 plus years, why didn't you just get your citizenship? It's like, it's not that easy, guys. Like, people
No.
need to find sponsors.
Well, not only
it's, like,
that,
financial constraints. And
but like
there's
I
so many.
think even that guy who was
hurdles.
arrested during his naturalization interview, I
that
think
guy.
he had been trying to get a citizenship for like 10 plus years.
Yeah,
and there
that's
are
a lot
other
of
people who
people.
are like, hey, I've been going to the immigration office for 20 years.
And your case just has to get selected.
Yeah.
It's like totally random.
It is totally
Yeah.
random. And like, I don't think Americans like,
You guys don't understand how
yeah.
difficult it is. Like, it is one of the hardest citizenships to get, in my opinion. All of my family members, other than my younger brother who was born here, we all went through the naturalization process. It's incredibly dehumanizing at times. And I'm not even in a position where I couldn't, like, you know, like pay for it or something. Like, I had parents that were helping me. But, like, the entire process of it can feel really demeaning. So, like, have compassion for your friends that are like, you know, just permanent residents or immigrants or whatnot, because you have no idea what their circumstances are that are like limiting them from getting that. So,
yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
On
is
the
this?
other side of the world, I don't know if
Oh.
you guys have seen any of this, but do you guys know the boy group Fantasy Boys in K-pop?
Vanity?
Are they
Fantasy.
like a quote unquote nugu group, like more of like a mid tier group or whatever?
I don't know. I've never really heard of them. So
I'm surprised I never saw this news.
yeah, so it's a group called Fantasy Boys, and in a live stream, one of their members, his name is Minso, was seen using a hand gesture widely recognized as a silent signal for help that was developed during the COVID. I don't know if you guys remember. It's like you put your thumb in and then you close it over it, but you have to show the whole thing on video.
Oh my god.
So he did that. You can see the clip here. You can see that he puts it in his hand and then he closes his fist over
Ooh,
it.
that's
And it
scary.
even looks like, I mean, I think this was like makeup,
Yeah.
but I think it didn't help that they looked like they had just been beaten up.
Yeah.
But it wasn't just him. Another member of the same group a couple of months prior, Hanbin, was also seen making the same gesture during a music show appearance in April. Now, the one that happened just recently, Minso, he claims that he was under, quote, extreme exhaustion. And he literally stated, and I quote, "I never intended to cause any misunderstandings, but things escalated way more than I expected. I'm truly sorry for causing concern and distress." And Hanbin, the one that did it in April, claimed that he was, quote, caught off guard and got flustered. So I kind of fumbled and stuttered, basically claiming that he did it by accident.
How do you do that by
How do you do that by accident? It's
Isn't
so
that
like deliberate. Yeah.
And then two different people to do it twice.
Like, and they know they're like the fans there. Everything is watched like a hawk.
So
they
like
know
I try to
anything.
think about it. Maybe
Yeah.
he was like, "Oh, I was trying to say hi," but like, why
You
would
can't
you
do the thumb accidentally.
No one's like
That's
this
very
maybe
specific.
like, "Oh, hi," but like no one's like, "Hi."
Yeah.
I've never been tired and I was like, "Oh."
Yeah,
you
this
know,
causes
like-
more strain and effort. The
Right.
thumb in,
Yeah.
like, hello. Oh, I hope they're okay. What the hell?
Yeah,
This
so
is freaky.
we don't know what's happening, but they've walked back So we
Classic.
don't know because you need the victims to come forward in order to be able to advocate for
Yeah.
them. So.
Because they're probably like in their they're probably teenagers.
Yeah, I mean I don't know how old they are. I don't know if they're teenagers, but they're young.
They look young.
Yeah. Now, what are your when you hear the word Yakuza, what do you normally think of?
Gangsters?
Japanese gang members.
Yeah, but like it's all negative stuff, right?
Oh,
Like
yeah, yeah.
dark, like people cutting off each other's fingers,
Oh,
like
yeah,
all
yeah,
that stuff. So this guy went to Japan and he stumbled across something known as a Yakuza festival.
What?
And this is a really funny interaction. Just watch.
What Japanese Yakuza festival looks like? Remember me? Sashiburi, last year. Yes! Genki desu ka? Photos? Hi, 3, 2, 1. Oh, yeah, back. Back, okay? Hi, back.
She said she wants you to post this on Instagram.
Yes, I did. And a lot of people like her tattoo. You wanna eat something? Oh? Takoyaki? You wanna eat takoyaki? One, okay. Wait, what? Yeah. Oh. Arigatou gozaimasu.
Oh, yeah.
Arigatou gozaimasu. Hi, arigatou gozaimasu. He is the oldest. He's the OG, the biggest boss.
Oh. He's fly.
This guy with a gold chain. I took a picture of him last year. He just got his pinky recently cut off last year.
Oh.
Last year.
What the fuck?
ちょっと待って. Maybe it's you. ちょっと待って. 写真は you 写真. Hi. Yeah. Oh, no. Yeah, I mean, yes. But demo. Okay. You in here? You. You? すげえ。もう一回写真大丈夫ですか? Okay. はい、ありがとうございます。
They're tatted
I will
everywhere.
tag Insta は send you.
That's
Okay?
pretty badass.
I DM message you. Hi. はじめまして. Hi. Okay. Bye bye.
But they're so kawaii. It's like funny.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
They're so scary but cute. Ooh. Cute. That's adorable. Stop.
Nice chopper.
That smile.
すごい.
Check out the full video
That is
on
so funny.
But how
I would
hilarious
love
is
to
that?
see that. Jeez.
Right? I think you said it best. There's like a kawaii about the Yakuza
They're so
gangs.
kawaii.
I love how that one guy, that older gentleman, was like giving him drinks, but
I know.
he was like very like, just take it. Just take
That's
it.
love.
You know?
That's respect, baby.
But
Oh,
yeah,
Japan.
I don't think the Yakuza's ever painted in that fashion.
Never, ever.
You know?
Actually, on Venmo, okay, well, this is random, but do you guys know in Silver Lake there used to be a sushi restaurant called Yakuza on Silver
Yes.
Lake Boulevard?
Yes.
And I just drove past it. It's closed now. But on Venmo, I used to live near there, and I would eat there, and sometimes when,
Was
you
it
know...
good?
It was aight sushi. I mean, everyone that worked there was Japanese, but like it was overpriced, like sushi for white people.
That's why I never
if that
went
makes
there.
sense.
Yeah.
I saw celebrities out here from.
I was like,
time
no
to time.
Asian people for Asian people would name
Exactly.
it Yakuza.
And so I would do these like Venmo transactions sometimes, you know, when you split the bill with friends, and I couldn't type Yakuza. Like Venmo would be like, no.
Oh, really?
They would like, because it like means like gang or whatever. So I just thought that was funny. I'm like, oh, they literally monitor that word sometimes, like
That's
depending on the
hilarious.
apps and stuff. I'm like, shit. Okay.
You didn't just use a sushi emoji? I like to use the emojis for
I know
that.
now I do. Now I do because I'm like, I guess it could be interpreted all types of ways. But then what do they think if you do like the pill like emoji? Like, do they think? Oh, it could be just my meds.
It could be meds. Yes,
Okay,
you know, you just claim ignorance.
Okay.
Every time I use Venmo to
Yeah.
pay like actual vendors,
Yeah,
I send random emojis because I'm like,
that's the move.
just in case, you know,
Yeah.
well, I'm Asian.
I don't want. I don't
This is what we do.
want some trackable invoice to
Yeah.
nefarious things. Okay. Anyway, you guys, I don't do illegal things.
On something else, I don't know if you guys saw this, but apparently China and the CIA have been
I saw this.
making propaganda battle videos. Have you seen
What
this?
is this timeline?
Dude, it's
like,
so
I'm
funny.
just over
Wait,
it.
just watch this. It's so crazy.
Goofy.
Interesting. The CIA and China are making propaganda videos against each other. And China's propaganda was better than ours, too. First the CIA video, then China's response. The CIA made a video showing a hard-working Chinese man who seems to feel that he's only working for rich people. At the end of the video, he clearly calls the CIA and agrees to work as a spy against his own government. So this is a propaganda and recruiting video. Now the Chinese response version. They make it clear that's a retaliation video because everything's the same, even the beginning, just in reverse. It's going to be a disgruntled American worker. Only the Chinese version is done in AI, so it's going to be cheaper and better, which is usually how they do things. But the Chinese version does hit harder. It covers poverty and our substance abuse epidemic with politicians who just don't care about us. And they actually had the guts to mention Netanyahu's control over our government.
And it seems like Israel is the real power pulling the strings behind us.
Everybody can see who our government works for, even across the ocean on the other side of the world. In their video, they mentioned that our freedom is a lie. And now watch how they end their version.
This time, I'll fight for a real future in my own way. Change this country in my own way.
Wow.
That's
Bro,
crazy.
they're beating us. They've beat us.
That's so crazy. We were like,
We're done.
oh no, I work for pennies and now I'm going to join America, which like,
Yeah.
what? In what world does that make sense? And China was like, oh, you don't want to start this fight.
Yeah. They're the kings of like memes and trolling. Like some C netizens even like they are so funny and witty. So I have no doubt they're gonna continue to deliver the
But I also
shots fired.
find it odd that the timing of this
I did not
propaganda war and Trump walking back his thoughts on Israel and Netanyahu, I was like,
Did it get to Trump?
yeah, wait, did he watch those videos? And he was like, what do you mean?
I bet his team's seen it for sure, right?
Yeah.
They must have.
But that's the thing about the Kilmore video too, is that like, you know, his people were sitting there.
Right.
Nobody was like, hey, pause this interview.
Yeah. Right.
Nope. You know what I mean? Cut all that out. Like, that's crazy. And like, I didn't save the video of it, but there's also another video of Trump taking time, sifting through like 20 photos to decide which in the photos of him holding the photo of Kilmore's tattoo he looks the best.
This man, full-blown narcissistic personality disorder. Like,
and we're
this
talking
is-
about a man who spent a quarter of his first 100 days playing golf. And
Like, what?
and like in the time that he's in office, the other 75 days, he's taking time to choose what photos he looks best in. And the golf thing, people are stating that if he goes at this rate, at the end of his second term, he will have spent $1 billion of taxpayers' dollars just to golf.
Of course.
Oh
Like,
my
where is
God.
Doge with that? Right? I don't know.
Oh my God.
This is
We're going to get a little conspiracy theory today because fuck it, why not,
that.
right? But there are videos claiming that Bush, George W., spent $21 trillion to build underground cities. This sounds so ridiculous, but the New York Post apparently made a fucking article about it, so we're just going to watch this video because it's funny.
Interesting. Wait, where is it? Like in New
Crazy.
York?
A former Bush official claims that the United States spent $21 trillion building a secret underground city. Her name is Catherine Austin Fitts, and she formerly served as Bush's Assistant Secretary of Housing and Urban Development. And she says that the United States government built this in secret in case of a near extinction event for the rich and powerful. She claims that this isn't just some underground tunnel, but that this is a massive underground city across the United States with over 170 bases. She even says some are under the ocean and that they're all connected with transportation. Also said that this isn't some situation where there's like old tunnel.
That's completely bullshit.
That sounds like too crazy to be real, right?
I'm sure there's like underground things, but not full-blown sustainable, like functioning cities.
170
like that.
connected cities.
We're not advanced
That's the
like
part
that.
where you lose me.
I could see maybe in China they have some shit like that, but not here.
Well, China for sure.
I mean, even 21 trillion, like you can't.
That's a crazy
You can't
number.
embezzle that much amount and not.
Well, like if you look in the comments on the right, some people are like, "Remember the trillions they couldn't track right before 9/11," which is been debunked.
That's not 21. That's not. You can't do trillion. That's insane.
That's an insane amount of money. Yeah.
Even if all the billionaires pool their money together,
Yeah.
unless they give their entire wealth.
Since the dawn of currency, you would have had to start
That's
putting
like
it.
that's like 3/4 of our national debt.
Yeah.
Damn.
Like there's no way that doesn't even
I
make
don't
sense.
even know how to like conceptualialize the number trillion. Like what?
No.
Yeah. Also, are we gonna talk about Burkina Faso at all today?
What's that?
Burkina Faso today at all today?
Oh, I wasn't planning on it.
Yeah. Okay.
We can if you
I
want.
was just curious. I just wanted to say.
I don't know
I
what
just
it
want to give
is.
a shout out to Yeah, to Captain Traoré. He's a president right now, and he's just being attacked by, like France and the U.S. is like physically like arming terrorists to.
Right.
It's just another typical, run-of-the-mill, democratically elected, socialist African leader. He's like in his 30s, by the way. He's very young, and he's very popular. Like when the coup happened that brought him to power, it was like a bloodless. Like he was in the capital without any bodyguards, and people were like, Wow. They kicked out French troops and everything. He like went to North Korea and saw like free education and free healthcare. He came back, implemented the same thing, and now there's terrorists who showed up from neighboring countries attacking the government. Which is the run-of-the-mill same story that the CIA has done for like the past 50 years.
My question.
But, I don't think people have like really heard about it. But he's a very popular, smart, charismatic young leader. Yeah,
I'll look into him.
Ooh.
Yeah.
And
the U.S. is trying to overthrow him.
That's not going to end well for him. Not with the way the U.S. does.
I hope he survives. Shit.
But he met Putin this past week.
Oh, he did?
Yeah, and both Putin and like Kim Jong-un are saying like, we will support you if another foreign country invades and stuff like that. So I don't think it'll be so easy to dethrone him, but I just really hope.
Be careful, sir.
I just really hope he
Say
stays.
his name again.
So it's spelled Traoere. I don't know how to pronounce it. It's like Traoré.
Is he white?
No, he's black. He's
black.
African.
He's black. Sorry, that's right. That's an interesting name.
Trao.
Trao.
Re.
Oh yeah.
What? No, that's.
Nope, that's
Wait,
not
just look
him.
up Burkina Faso and then write TR and then it should pop up. Yeah, that's him.
Him.
Yeah, and so they've been attacked with the same media warfare saying, Burkina Faso massacre civilians.
Ugh.
Same thing. I mean, you see the same playbook whenever there's a new democratically elected leader that's left-leaning. Same book, same media warfare.
Like the U.S.
And it doesn't always doesn't look good when they then meet with Putin because Putin has such a negative.
Yeah.
Right,
but when one aisle of world superpowers is trying to kill you, you don't have a choice but to go to the other one who you might be friends with,
Yeah, of course. I mean, it's either that or your whole system crumbles.
Yeah. Human Rights Watch is the same group that makes up bullshit about North Korea too. So I mean, whenever you see Human Rights Watch, it's
like Radio Asia.
It's like He actually in an interview he says he grew up watching Radio Free Africa his entire life, and it wasn't until he left and he visited other countries in Africa that doesn't have Radio Free Africa that's when he realized, holy shit, I've been brainwashed. Yeah, no, he's remarkable, man. He's a very young.
Damn, I'll keep
I love that
eye
guy.
out for him.
I got into a social media argument with someone who was like, Radio Free Asia is one of the only whatever, and I was like, what the dumb fuck did you just say? It was some white guy, and I was like, what did you just say? And he's like, it says mediabias.org or whatever says that they're very unbiased. I was like, are you talking about the same website that has had massive controversies that they are biased in choosing who's not biased? I was like, what is happening?
Right.
Oh my God, people are so dumb. Something a little bit lighter. This has been making the rounds on social media. It happened in Canada, I believe. But these Asian people left their dog tied to their car when they went to Costco. And people are really mad. Just watch this video.
Yeah, don't do that, y'all.
Your dog?
Oh, God.
Yeah? Is there any reason why this situation looks the way it is? Thank you for being here.
Yeah. They look young.
Okay.
Oh, they can't really speak English.
Yeah, they're immigrants. And you'll see where they tied the dog in a second.
So, that being said, is there any reason why he's not at home right now?
So it won't happen.
Are they Korean?
Okay, I'm just trying to figure out the logistics of why you think.
They're probably so flustered.
We are from school.
Okay.
So we are about to go home.
Okay. Was the dog with you the entire day at school?
I think their accent sounds Chinese.
I was about to say that too, I think.
But in school we just walk them around, not that's impossible.
Okay, so you came from school to Costco then, right?
Yes.
So why couldn't you go from Costco home to drop the dog off before coming home?
So basically what they did was they closed the trunk. That's their Range Rover. They closed the trunk on the leash. So the dog is like tied to the back of the car essentially.
That's bullshit.
And it wasn't just this one day. I guess apparently the day after, someone else entirely at a different place filmed the same thing. And you'll see better in this video the dog.
Oh shit.
Bruh. Tell me how someone does this. Close the trunk. It's closed. But you leave your dog.
That's crazy.
Are you okay, twin?
Wait.
What's wrong?
Not him being cute.
How does someone...
Yeah, so this one looks less bad because in the first video, if you actually, they posted like a bunch of videos about it. But if you go to this one, you'll see, and I think that's the reason why a lot of people were mad, is the dog is like hiding under the, hiding from the sun under the car, like right by the exhaust pipe.
Oh my God.
And of course.
Wait, why bring your dog if you're going to do that?
Yeah, why bring your dog around? What
Yeah,
the
so
fuck?
like that's kind of the discourse I wanted to have is like, one, obviously you shouldn't do this. I would never do this. I would never put my dog there.
Yeah.
But I also want to ask, like, is it that much different than someone tying their dog outside a store before going inside?
I was going to say, I don't think it's that bad.
Yeah, that's like people on the internet are pissed, and I think rightfully so. Again, I would never do this with my dog.
But animal welfare education is different in Asia. They don't have it. It's like abysmal. Even in Korea, China, whatever.
Well, because like dog ownership is somewhat new.
Yeah, it's somewhat new. Like
Yeah.
having domestic pets, like people liking cats, even in Korea, that's like a new thing.
Yeah.
I was really surprised about that. But like, I'm not saying everyone abuses fucking animals, but it's like you would not be shocked if you saw someone like abusing an animal. I guess you could put it that way. So I feel like this is just kind of like old world immigrant mentality, not to sound condescending, but like they clearly didn't think they didn't do anything like wrong. Because to them, they're like, the dog's outside, it's getting fresh air.
Yeah, see, you can see in
that
this
was
video.
bad. That's not
And like
safe.
the only thing that I feel bad about this is that like if they had just ran their car, that exhaust is hot.
Yeah.
So like from that perspective, I get it. It is maddening.
yeah.
I would be mad too. But like people are like
Oh, it's Burnaby?
people
right
are
by
like
Vancouver?
pissed in the comments, and I just wonder is like I've seen plenty of white people tie up dogs outside 7-Elevens.
Oh
now,
yeah, for sure.
No, it's their Mac because it's Asian.
That's what I'm
For
wondering.
sure.
So the other thing
I
is
feel
is
like
like
some of it is like
the people are claiming that they were in Costco for an hour. I don't know. Looking at this cart, that doesn't scream an hour's worth of Costco shopping to me, unless they were leisurely going up and down every aisle, which sometimes people do.
Yeah.
You know? Maybe I'm a little jaded because I go to Costco so frequently that I'm like, boom, 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 out within 10 minutes, you know?
Yeah, I shop fast too.
Yeah, I feel like it's that like unsaid like nuanced connotation of Asians and dogs that I feel like is kind of stirring this
Yeah,
up.
I feel like people are pissed because it is something you shouldn't do, but I
Yeah.
feel like it's a little bit magnified because they're Asian.
I would not disagree with that.
Yeah. I
would
mean,
not
we can't
disagree with
prove
that.
it.
Yeah,
it's
you
one of
can't
those
really
things you can't
that,
prove,
but,
but
like,
I mean, come on.
And maybe it's because I'm a contrarian. Whenever I see things like this, I'm like, but is it bad? I do that with a lot of things, you know? And I'm like, the first thing I thought was like, I've seen so many white people leave their dogs
That's a good
outside,
point.
tied outside
At
like
least it wasn't
Albertsons
inside.
or whatever,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
So it's like, I'm like, is that any different? Because I've never seen anyone waiting for a white man to come out and be like, you fucking left this dog here.
Yeah.
I called the cops, you
true.
asshole. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, that's crazy.
So did they get in trouble? What was the outcome? Do you know?
I
They
don't
just got a
know. I mean,
citation?
yeah.
Probably a warning, I guess.
I think at worst, the citation.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, I don't know Canada laws, but
Right.
yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, it's questionable.
But
you know?
people do, I feel like, I mean, this is a criticism we've all heard, but like there's so many social justice warriors now because of social media. And even if you're not posting, I feel like sometimes people feel like emboldened to like include themselves in like scenarios sometimes that just aren't like very conducive to the outcome.
Yes.
It's like you could just
Because
give
they
them
center
a little,
themselves.
Yeah, you're
Yeah.
like you could just give them a heads up and be like, hey, in this country we don't do that here, and then like keep it pushing. You don't have to like chastise them and shame them. But the point was to shame them, you know, it's because then they get like social media clout. Or
Yeah,
whatever.
because in the video,
Yeah.
you guys didn't see it. In the second video, they do say they're like, we feel very uncomfortable because there are multiple people pointing their phones at us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the police officer is like, well, you're in public, so this is legal. And it just seemed a little like,
Now I feel bad for them. Shit.
yeah, you know what I mean? Like, would you have been so crass?
It's so confronting. Yeah.
if they were white. That's just what I wonder.
It's always a good question to ask,
Yeah.
folks.
But sticking with conspiracy theories earlier, I don't know if you guys saw this. This one's really interesting.
I have not.
Well, let's watch it though.
But you guys know Timothy McVeigh, right?
Yeah.
He was the Oklahoma City bomber.
Did he kill like 150 people or something?
Yeah. So there's a FBI agent who has been showing up a lot recently, and people are starting to draw the comparison that he looks exactly like Timothy McVeigh. And I forget if it's this video, but I saw a video where someone overlaid the faces, including the ears, on top of each other, and they were identical. And they put it even through a facial recognition match. And the facial recognition program came out and said that it was a 90% match. Which is really high.
Well, we all have doppelgangers walking around,
We
apparently.
do, but watch this. This is crazy.
Oh, they do look alike.
Yeah. Look at that.
Wow. That's weird.
The nose, the eyes, the hairline, the
Literally,
ears.
like, the bone structure's the same. Is that him?
Yeah, is that him?
Paul, why so Paul? Did he, like, go under witness protection and start over?
But isn't this easily either provable or debunkable by just tracing where this FBI man has been doing for the past 20 years?
Or like,
Yeah, exactly.
like I don't know. Was Timothy McVeigh?
Is he in prison or like what was the deal?
What happened?
He must have been like capitally punished, right?
Yeah, like sent to.
Okay, see that would be different. If he was supposed to have been killed, that would give this story a little bit more life.
Yeah, he was executed in
Oh, wow.
2001.
By lethal injection.
Yeah, and he killed upwards of 168 people.
Damn.
But like that man.
Now I believe it. That's enough. I'm sold.
That's what I'm saying. I kind of agree.
Shit.
That guy looks just like Timothy McVeigh.
Yeah.
And it's crazy because, like, I don't know if you guys saw on Netflix, they just recently dropped an Oklahoma City bombing
I
documentary.
saw it on the homepage or something.
Yeah. So I didn't watch it, but I saw it too.
I love those docs.
Same.
Yes.
But like, I think it's wild because it's like we live in this age where like things don't die anymore. We keep bringing things back for content.
Yeah.
So it's like if the government did do this, like you put him in a publicly visible situation with the government, like you couldn't just put him running a bar in fucking like Nebraska somewhere,
Oklahoma,
like,
or not Oklahoma.
Yeah.
I'll be curious to know though if what was going on at that time wait, is that 2001? But that was right.
What was
that was
his
right before
motivation for
9/11.
the
That was right
bombing?
before
9/11.
Do you guys know, like the
Yeah, what was the motive-
lead up, like his motivation for bombing? Was he having like a mental health crisis? Like, was he like an anarchist?
You know
like,
what?
was he,
I
like-
actually watched the documentary and I don't remember, but I just real quick I saw this headline. Apparently, people watched
that's
him die
scary
and
as
said that he
fuck.
died with his eyes open.
That's some
That
serial
guy
killer
is
shit.
the FBI agent. There's no way he's not. What
No, it's
was
believable.
Timothy McVeigh's motive?
Anti-government sentiment, particularly telling his federal government actions in Guaco siege and these are kind of the government.
Like anarchy?
Oh yeah, about the Waco thing. But like, isn't that I guess from an FBI standpoint, they would be like, oh, he was so anti-government. Like, we'll put him in FBI. No one would think it's Timothy McVeigh.
That's his punishment, baby.
Like, that's crazy. That guy looks just like him.
Yeah, that's
I don't know. I kind of believe it.
But I also do think, just like how like, because that's the thing, I really do feel like some Asians look exactly the same.
Dude, I have that too sometimes. I'm like, bruh. I have like reverse racism.
I'm same thing with white people. Some white people look
some white
exactly
people
the
look
same.
hella alike though. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just like.
I don't know, man, guys.
But like you said, would they really just put him out there like that? Because like, let's say like, you know, I mean, we know that, you know, the U.S. government has done in-house terrorism plenty of times before, but putting them out there on a, you know, government position, that's kind of unheard of.
That's bold.
I mean, look at that cross section. Everything
I mean, it
lines
looks like the same
up.
person. Yeah.
I don't know. It
That's
probably
creepy.
isn't. But you know, conspiracy theories are fun. So
We love a little conspiracy.
So you know, why not? Sticking to actual real news though, and really satisfying news. But Johnny Somali is now facing 31 years in South Korean prison.
Not him being like, ha!
Yo, he's gonna get
Sure.
destroyed in prison.
So he's being charged with a second deep fake of a potential celebrity, is what I'm understanding this charge is coming from.
Hell yeah.
But That doesn't include him. Remember that video we watched a couple weeks back of him threatening to spread HIV? You weren't here.
So
but he
gross.
also came out saying that he wants to spread like HIV and STDs to like
does he
everyone in
have HIV?
Korea. He
No,
claims he doesn't,
But he's saying
like,
he's having unprotected sex to spread STIs in Korea.
yeah,
That's like his.
I think his exact words were, "If I ever got HIV, I would super spread it." And he compared to this like white guy
That's
who's
a
a
threat.
streamer who has been doing that.
Oh my god.
And he was like, "I think it's genius. I'm gonna do that." So like, that's like that could be viewed as a threat,
That
like a
is a
mass
threat. That is a- yeah,
threat.
it's like
So like, additional charges could be tacked on. Like
More of a
Johnny
reason not
Somali
to-
may
Send
never
his
leave
ass to
South
jail.
Korea.
I'm just glad he's yeah. The whole thing with the Uyambu like statue was enough to piss me off.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. To be honest, yeah, that was for me.
That was enough. Yeah.
I hated him
What are
already.
they called? Nonsense streamers? Is that what it's called? What they
no,
do?
they
nuisance. Sorry,
streamers, yeah.
nuisance streaming. Ugh.
Man, welcome to 2025.
Yep. Everyone's
Like,
narcissistic.
Who knew that like being that disruptive ADHD kid that everyone hated in school
Could
would
make
become
money.
a career?
Yeah.
Like that's fucking
It
gross.
must be like crack to them, like
So
literally.
gross. Yeah, those kids that
Which
you
is why they keep upping the ante.
well, like the kids that you know like weren't getting attention at home, so they would like while out at school, and you're like, bro, this is so annoying. Stop making everything about you.
Yep.
Now they're making careers out of it.
Oh, you know he was hella bullied. I can just see it on his face. I know he was bullied for sure.
Yeah,
Ugh.
I'm staring at that face now, and I'm like, I want to bully him. Not because of his face, but
Yeah.
everything that's associated with
And
him.
because of
I'm
your
not
face.
a bully.
Yeah.
But you want to. 'Cause
Johnny, you deserve the punishment. You're a disgrace, and you're disrespecting our people. So
Yeah, wait. So if he does
kiss our
stay
ass.
in jail for
Yeah, how old
31
is this guy? Is he like
years.
20? Is he like 30? Like,
he was born 2000, so he's 25.
oh my god,
Wait, he's so young.
He's so young. So he'll
Why
be
does he
like,
look
only a
so
year
old?
older than my brother,
it's because
or he is my brother's age.
you know your insides rot from the inside out. Sometimes, I guess.
Yeah, he looks old. His
But he'll be
beard
in-
or something.
It is mid 50s if he stays 31 years.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
Like no one's paying attention to you then.
Yeah. Yeah. And he's gonna get wrecked in South Korean prison. Because you know South Korean system.
I don't
like,
really know it.
It works like you're in a room,
Okay.
and like instead of your own cell with like maybe like a bunk buddy,
Mm-hmm.
you're in a room with like 5 other people,
Oh hell no.
and you just get jumped as soon as you go in.
Oh, I've seen that. They sleep on the floors
Yeah,
and
they sleep
shit.
on the
right?
floor.
Yeah.
So you gotta be, and there's always like a room boss.
K-dramas.
You know.
Of course.
And yeah, I mean,
Kaptil.
and he's not in there for like gambling or something. He's there for like disrespecting the country. So
Oh,
I
they're
imagine
gonna
they're not gonna
beat
they're
his
gonna,
ass.
they're gonna have
Yeah.
fun with him. Yeah.
I'd say that's rightful punishment.
Sucks for you, karma, bitch. Just kidding. I don't condone violence.
Survival of the fittest, Johnny.
But sticking with Korea, you know, you were talking earlier about how like surprised Korea isn't doing anything about it. Well, they're not really, not as a country. But Donald Trump Jr. was in Seoul.
Was this like a month ago though?
It was like 2 weeks, 2 or 3. Oh yeah, maybe a month ago, close to. But he was there. He was supposed to be for 2 days. He was in Seoul to meet with a dozen business leaders, and he did. He met with like the family of like the Hanwha Group, Naver, CJ. CJ's a big one.
Oh, the chaebol.
He's huge.
Yeah, but the top 4 families and companies, Samsung, LG, Hyundai, and SK, all ghosted Trump Jr. in that meeting.
Boom.
And a lot of people are taking it as like they're an FUing to the U.S. government, but it could also be shown that like Trump Jr. holds zero position
Yeah.
in American government. Like this was clearly a PR stunt to
Yeah.
try to make him look more serious
Yeah,
because
Like optics.
because he looks like an idiot and
He literally looks like an idiot in that picture.
Yeah, but I mean, like literally, he does idiotic stuff and then
yeah.
it makes headlines.
He's literally always on coke,
Allegedly.
allegedly.
But yeah, so it's clearly just a PR stunt, and these big families were like, "The fuck?
Yeah.
we're not
Good.
wasting our time."
Yeah, don't
for
waste your
you."
time on this family, y'all.
But yeah,
Man, the first thing that we talked about, Japan saying like, we'll threaten to destroy
yeah.
the economy. That's just so embarrassing, man. Like when
Yeah.
Japan, because Japan doesn't have the same arrangements as like the U.S. occupation of Okinawa does not have the same arrangements as the U.S. occupation in Korea.
Right.
For one, the Japanese military has control over their own military, which South Korea does not have. And second, when a U.S. soldier commits a crime in Japan, it's going to be punished, under...
versus in Korea where they just get shipped out.
Yeah,
they just,
or just nothing.
Or nothing.
Wow.
That's true. At most, they just get shipped out.
Yeah.
Wow. No wonder they like being based in Korea then.
Oh yeah, they love it.
Yeah, the fucking
it's a free
American
time.
soldiers.
Yeah. It's a good time for them.
Yeah,
they can do whatever they want, really.
You talk to U.S. soldiers, they're like, oh yeah, like I want to be based in Korea.
Yeah, I see it on Reddit all the
for
time.
them.
It creeps me out. I'm like, it reminds me of like passport bro shit. Sometimes.
Well,
they're like,
yeah, I mean South Korea.
Sometimes that is the motivation.
It's the OG
right.
passport bro.
Like,
Is joining the
sad
military
stain in our history.
and then essaying the woman there.
Yeah, and just
that you're
leaving.
Even the men sometimes.
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah. Oh, that's so embarrassing, man. When Japan is doing shit like that and South Korea can't do shit, or won't do shit, whatever. That's so embarrassing.
Yeah, I agree. But a little bit lighthearted in North Korea. I just will end with this, but I just want to get your thoughts on this specifically. But this North Korean man eats shin ramen for the first time allegedly.
Oh yeah.
And some of the stuff he says, I just was a little curious. So we're just gonna watch the first 2 minutes, and then
Make me hungry.
진짜 북한에서 평백성들이 요거 그대로 가져가서 하나만 맛을 봤다간 아마 넋이 나갈걸요. 그 다음에 한 개당 5,000원씩이라도 막 사먹겠다고 할 거예요. 북한에도 라면이 있어요. 북한에서도 라면 먹자면 여기 1,500원, 계란 하나 1,000원, 두부 1,000원 하면 그저 다 3,500원 있어야 되거든요. 근데 그 3,500원 벌자면 못해도 파고쳐 도둑질해도 시키려는 도둑질해야 돼. 계란도 이렇게 한국은 흔하잖아요. 북한은 딱 1,000원이에요. 이거 계란 한 알당 1,000원.
That's crazy.
근데 북한에서는 라면이란 말을 크게 사용 안 하고 꼬불행국수라고 그래요. 꼬불꼬불하잖아요.
That's so
꼬불행국수라는
cute.
말을 많이 사용하는데 근데 이런 조미료가 따로 없어요. 그래서 국수만 있는 거예요. 그러니까 맛이 차원이 다르죠. 저는 북한에서도 한국 라면은 먹어 못 봤어요. 솔직히. 북한 라면을 많이 먹어봤는데 물론 그것도 다 북한은 도둑질하지 않으면 못 사니까 솔직히. 북한은 또 월화수목 금토일이 없어요. 월화수목 금토토 일이란 말을 사용 안 하거든요. 토요일까지 일해야 돼요. 노동 행정 시간이거든요. 토요일이. 그러니까 월화수목 금토토 그렇게 말하는데 그렇게 일을 해도 2,180원 됐거든요. 근데 2,180원에서 당비 떼고 무슨 식비 떼고 무슨 사버려 떼고 뭐 하면 미누스 들어가는 거예요. 그럼 월급 갖고 못 살잖아요, 사람이. 자꾸 미누스만 들어가는데. 그러니까 도둑질을 하는 거예요. 도둑질을 해야만이 그놈 사회에서 살아갈 수 있는 거예요. 그래 북한에서는 도둑질 한 놈이 똑똑한 놈이다. 경찰도 그렇게 말해요. 한국에서 도둑질했다가는 영창 가고 뭐 일 난리 나는데 북한은 그게 없어. 막 살기는 편해요. 왜냐하면 자전거도 도둑질할 수 있고 뭐 차는 자동차는 없으니까 북한에 자동차 도둑은 없어요. 근데 자전거가 대중교통이니까 자전거를 도둑질하던 그런데 이렇게 라면 한번 끓여 먹는다는 게 진짜 뭐랄까 10번.
Yeah, so he keeps going, but he basically says that in North Korea, you have to steal to be able to enjoy anything. And he
says
goes...
even to survive, you gotta steal.
Yeah, so he goes on even further to state that he's like, while you're in the military for 10 years is the best time to steal because when you go in with a uniform on, the shop owners and stuff are less likely to cause a ruckus because you have higher authority than they do.
Too. Oh my God.
So he's like, when you're in the military, you can just steal whatever you want because no one will say anything to you. And he's basically stating that if you don't steal, even working, you will be at a deficit because of all the taxes and stuff. How do you feel about that? I mean, part of me was kind of like, I don't know, is that true? Because that sounds crazy.
I don't know what's true. Obviously, I never lived there.
Yeah.
Multiple things. I think one is it definitely hugely depends on what part of North Korea you're from.
For sure. Like people in Pyongyang
are
going
to be living better. Yeah. Which, by the way, is every country.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because people be like, I'm not like now you like people be like, oh, only Pyongyang people are living well. That's every country.
Yeah.
What country is the capital not the best? But anyways.
Yeah, compare LA to Arkansas. Come on.
Yeah. Right. But I mean, there's plenty of defectors who are not even pro North Korea or whatever, because there's not that many of them. But there's plenty of defectors who will be like, oh, food, yeah, we don't have to worry about food. We got food for free. But then at the same time, you'll see stuff like this where it's saying if you didn't steal, you couldn't eat. He
must have been a village, rural, very, very poor background.
I mean, he sounds like it a little bit.
So, I mean, his accent too, it sounds very yeah. So I mean, it could be true. Maybe it also depends on when he came, because if he came from the 90s, I would believe everything that he's saying.
Oh yeah, it depends when he came.
You
That's
know,
a big
during the-
He's
during
like
the-
I think he's like in his like early 40s.
yeah.
So I want to say he defected like within the last like 3 to 5 years.
Then in that case, I find that very hard to believe. Because there's plenty of, and I've talked to defectors myself who said, and who was one in the military, who have said the opposite things that he did. And again, you can say that's anecdotal evidence, and yeah, I accept that as anecdotal evidence for me and the guy who told me all that. But like, you can't, you know, one thing about like military culture and things like that I don't, you know, I think historically speaking is very inaccurate. Is like we are used to positions people like, you know, South Korean culture is like, if you're like Sunbae, you make the 후배 do stuff and stuff like that. But it's well recorded in like American and South Korean sources. For example, do you guys know Koreatown? It's a very small island in like the, you know, there's a chain of islands in South Korea. So that island was used for prisoners of war for during the Korean War. And you know, typically like when there's officers and then there's like the enlisted whatever, when there's like work to do, who usually does it?
The grunts. But
the Americans noticed that anytime there was work to do, the officers would step up first, because that was like their way of doing things.
Like their way of doing leadership and stuff.
Yeah, same thing when the North Korean and South Korean hockey team played together for the Olympics.
Yeah.
You got to clean up the pucks, right? Yeah. And it was South Korean tradition to have the rookies clean up the pucks, but for the North Koreans, it was the most experienced players and the coaches who had to clean up the pucks after. So anyways, I'm not saying that's gonna apply everywhere.
Right.
I'm sure there's soldiers who can steal and do all that shit, right? But it's hard for me to believe that it's the culture where, oh yeah, everyone knows if you're a soldier, you steal.
Oh yeah.
Or else, you know, like, because you gotta pick one, right? It's like on one hand, when you watch interviews of actual like North Korean kids in North Korea in schools, asking them what do you want to do, they're all like, I want to be a soldier. I want to be a tank man. I want to be a pilot, whatever. So you can't say, well, they're all brainwashed to love the military, but on the other hand, say, yeah, people fear the military. People know that the military is evil. You can't have both.
But what if it's an act too? What if they're just doing that for show on these interviews? Like, yeah, I want to be in the military because it shows your like dutiful allegiance to their supreme leader and country, but in private we're always different, you know, so it's like the optics that they're putting out might not necessarily
I've seen those videos. Those kids seem to be sincere, but that doesn't mean to say that like maybe their parents are like, hey, if you ever get asked these questions, this is what you say.
I mean, kids are most likely going to be honest for sure, but I'm on the fence. I'm like, I believe him, but I believe you too. Where I'm like, I know people struggle.
I'm not saying that he's wrong or right. Because I don't know who this man is, but
it could have. You're right. It could have just been that like wherever he was from was like really poor area. Because like I spoke with Charles, this guy Charles Ryu. He's that North Korean guy. And he stated,
we need to have one on.
Yeah, I would love to have. I think the next time he is in town, I'll try to ask him. But he stated that essentially his family was punished because something his grandfather did. And they were sent to like a really poor village. And they struggled there. So maybe it was something like that, you know?
Yeah. Very regional based. Where my grandparents from, like my dad's parents are from North Korea and they like escaped into the whole thing, you know, before the split. But they're from like the tippy top north, like mountain town. So I just think that's interesting. I do have family and relatives that I'll never meet, but you know, it's interesting to like hypothesize about like, oh, I wonder what that side of the family is like. And like my
hopefully just in my imagination.
Third cousins.
One thing I want to go back to what you said about like acting in front of the camera. That could and I know for a fact, I'm sure like North Korean like officials or whatever, like whenever foreigners go, like make sure you put on your best act, or maybe even go as far as say this, right? But when you take a look at all the hundreds and thousands of hours of footage that the rest of the world has gathered, you can either reach the conclusion that one, okay, clearly at least some of these people are sincere, or North Koreans are actually the best actors on the planet.
All Oscar award winning.
I mean?
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Like people say like, oh, everything Pyongyang's fake, and everyone is told to walk around a certain way.
Oh no,
you can't operate a country.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Just for the eyes of foreigners.
Even like movies can't do that with production.
Yeah,
like
and
$1 million
production.
Yeah, like there's no way.
Yeah, you tell extras, you're like, don't look at the camera, and there's always someone, and there's like. You know what I mean? Or they even do like one of these, and you're like, God damn it, I have to edit you out now.
I'm dying.
Yeah.
No, that's an excellent point for
So
sure.
whereas I do think it would be socially unacceptable to go in front of a foreigner's camera and be like, I actually secretly hate our government.
Right.
I do think that would be
Right.
at the very least socially unacceptable to do that.
Yeah.
It's not actually reprimandable.
Right.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's very far-fetched to believe that there are those in North Korea who are genuinely actually proud of whatever they
Yeah.
have.
I'm sure there's
and
a
their
lot.
they
quality
actually
of
wanna
life is
talk about
fine.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
on that note, that's probably the longest episode that we
Wow.
have ever recorded. So thank you for joining us on that. Today we're joined by Hajin Cho, David Yoon, Rocco, Ahmed Choi. Make sure you like, subscribe, ring the bell, because I believe I've been hearing that people think that our show is being suppressed by the algorithm. So make sure
what?
you
Like this shit.
engage, share, comment, do all the ish. And we'll see you guys on the next one.
See you next week. Thank you.
Have you had
Fun
a chance
episode.
to watch my documentary?
No, please, like send me. I want to like
It's-
know
so
your
it's
lore
only,
more.
It's only 30 minutes.
like text it to me. I texted you the hike.
Really?
Yeah.